Hello, I am here today to talk about the Iron Man Arc Reactor power crisis. I feel like a lot of people don't understand what the big deal is with Iron Man and his little arc reactor. If you don't know, that's the thing that's in his chest that keeps the metal from hitting his heart, but also powers all of his Iron Man suits. Before I can really explain why this is such a big deal, I think I need to talk about the power crisis we have right now in our society.
With the exception of preventing war, this is the greatest challenge that our country will face during our lifetime. The energy crisis has not yet overwhelmed us, but it will.
When it comes to new technology and it comes to small, personalized anything, the number one problem isn't the motor capacity, isn't storage space. We have all of that in abundance. The biggest problem is fuel, power supplies, all that kind of thing. The big problem that we're running into is power supply, and for quite a while, until we figure something out, is going to be power supply.
So it's only just that we invent new energy and avoid the problem. The rich countries ought to take the lead in setting a good example here.
So, in Iron Man, to power a suit that strong, you need some form of fictional power supply. And what the people at Marvel came up with is the Arc Reactor. And it is a miniature reactor that can fit inside of his chest.
What do you want me to do? Over there. That is irrelevant.
Now, that's all fine and dandy, but the problem that I think they didn't really touch on in Iron Man, mostly in Iron Man 2, the fact that the government wanted his suit, is what they really want and need is his arc reactor. But the big problem that I think Tony Stark realizes, or at least should, is the fact that if he does release the arc reactor as a new power supply, what happens? Our technology gets better, we get to run on free, clean energy forever, and we get to have new advancements in technology in every possible field.
But because places like India and Africa, who still don't have air conditioning and refrigeration, actually we want this number to go up. We want people to have modern lifestyles.
But what price does that come with? Whenever there is a new power supply, let's take nuclear power, right? You can make an abundance of clean energy that lasts pretty much forever. But on the other side of that, you have nuclear weapons, the most devastating weapon of war ever. Now, if you release something small and powerful like the arc reactor, think about all the weapons that you would be capable of making. The railgun, the massive electrical weapon.
A railgun is a gun that uses electricity instead of gun propellant. We've demonstrated that if you build it big enough, you can fire it and it works.
And think about all the other weapons of mass destruction that we haven't even thought of yet, that would be thought of and created if we did have a power supply like that. So you have to think of trade-offs when it comes to that kind of thing. Is making every single person's life easier and making the average person's life more accommodating and having revolutions in technology worth the risk of every government having weapons of mass destruction more powerful than we've ever seen before, leading to more war and more death? Really worth it? This has been Silent Slaymaker, and I'll see you later.